The Trump administration's definition of tough on crime has always been less about actual crime and more about political theater. If the cameras are rolling and the outrage machine is primed, that's when they suddenly care. Case in point, Washington, D.C. Ever since Trump decided to flex and take a federal-sized bite out of the city, residents haven't exactly rolled out the red carpet. Protests, backlash, frustration, you name it. But one particular act of resistance really stood out, and not because it was violent or dangerous. No, it was because a man decided his weapon of choice would be a sandwich. That's right, prosecutors actually tried to build a felony assault case around a hoagie. Forget AR-15s, forget Molotov cocktails. This was deli meats and bread. Apparently, the revolution will be catered. The Trump administration puffed up their chest, vowing to back the police to the hilt. They said this guy thought it was funny. Well, who's laughing now? According to them, not him, because he was facing a felony charge. Except, funny enough, a grand jury didn't buy it. They tossed out the felony. Turns out, even in Trump's America, weaponized subway footlongs don't quite meet the legal threshold for assault. And here's the irony. The tough talk we hear from Republicans about one man flinging a sandwich is harsher than anything they've ever mustered against people firing actual guns. Think about that. Maybe, if we're lucky, Congress will finally get serious about sandwich control. Background, checks for baguettes, waiting periods for wraps. Don't laugh, it makes about as much sense as what they're doing now. But speaking of overplaying hands, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis thought he had a winner with his very own dystopian pet project, Alligator Alcatraz, a detention center, plopped in the Everglades. The pitch was simple, a fortress for immigrants, all in the name of Trump's federal crackdown. The execution, less fortress, more farce. Breaking news came down that a judge has ordered this so-called Alligator Alcatraz to be shut down within 60 days. No new detainees, no more construction, and the installations built to support the facility must come out. Basically, the whole project is circling the drain. For Trump and DeSantis, it's a major blow. This detention center was supposed to be their crown jewel, the cornerstone of a get-tough immigration policy. Instead, it's now a cautionary tale about hubris. Meanwhile, state officials are already talking about winding the place down. ABC News got their hands on an email saying detainees would likely be gone within days. Imagine that, a $450 million facility emptied almost as soon as it opened. A FEMA spokesperson even tried to spin it, saying they were moving at turbo speed to reimburse Florida's costs with federal dollars, which of course means our tax dollars. Trump likes to call it cost-effective and innovative. But the math doesn't lie. Divide $450 million by roughly 300 detainees, and you're looking at $1.5 million per person. That's not a detention center. It's a Mr. Beast YouTube challenge. And here's where the hypocrisy really slaps you in the face. When Florida comes knocking, FEMA is all too eager to write a check. But when Maryland's Democratic governor requested disaster relief after devastating floods, his request was denied. No explanation, no money. Funny how the red states always seem to find Uncle Sam's wallet, while blue states get left holding. The bill. Trump, of course, has always liked to brand himself as a peacemaker and unifier. That's rich. Those words fit him about as well as calling Lauren Boebert prude and sober. Trump's real playbook isn't unity, it's division. He funnels resources to red states while punishing blue ones, then turns around and blames Democrats for the chaos. And let's not forget the campaign promises. Lower grocery prices, cheaper housing, affordable health care. In reality, tariffs pushed food prices higher. Millions were cut off from assistance programs. Housing costs climbed, and 17 million Americans lost health insurance. Trump didn't ease the burden, he made it worse. And as for his ankles, well, they've inflated enough to qualify as their own parade balloons. Promise broken. Instead of putting money into disaster relief or cost of living measures, Trump and his allies pump billions into ICE operations and political detention centers. Why? Because fear sells. And for Trump, the formula is simple. Keep his white voter base scared of black and brown Americans. Distract them with tales of crime-ridden blue cities while quietly handing massive tax cuts to the wealthy. It's the oldest con in the book. This is what Trump has always done. Manufacture division. Point the finger at marginalized groups, and then pose as the only man who can fix it. It's all smoke and mirrors designed to cover up the real transfer of wealth happening at the top. The more we fight each other, the less we notice the billionaires pocketing the country. And so yes, Republicans can rage all they want about a guy throwing a sandwich, but no one wastes bread quite like this administration, whether it's on pointless detention centers, partisan reimbursements, or the illusion of law and order. It's bread and circuses, minus the bread for everyday Americans. Call-2-action. Don't forget to subscribe to Sharp Angle for more independent analysis. Because mainstream politics isn't going to call this out for what it is.